This lesson is dividing decimals by single-digit whole numbers and using easily identifiable multiples and place value understanding. So you're using what you already know of basic multiplication facts to help you divide. The first problem we have is 9/10 divided by 3. One way that they want you to know how to do that is with the dot chart. So you start with your tenths. We have 9 dots in the tenth section, your decimal, and we have 0 ones. And then what you're going to do is you're going to separate them into 3 groups. And we see that we have 3/10. I'm not going to ask you to do a dot chart unless you want to do one, but I want you to be familiar with it. You can also do the standard algorithm where we have 9/10 underneath and divided by 3. 3 goes into 0 ones 0 times. Don't forget to bring up your decimal. And 3 goes into 9/10 3 times, so we still have 3/10. Try solving 24 hundredths divided by 4 on your own. If you solve this using the dot chart, first you start with filling it in on the place value chart. Okay, so we started with 2/10 and 4 hundredths, but we can't divide this evenly by 3. So what we need to do is break it down so that we have 24 hundredths, and then we can separate those into groups of 4, where we will have 6 hundredths in each. Again, we can also use the standard algorithm where we start with our 24 hundredths divided by 4. 4 goes into 0 ones 0 times. Okay, 4 goes into 2/10 0 times. So we put our 0 up at the top. Again, remember to move up your decimal. Okay, 4 goes into 24 6 times, and there's no remainder, so we have 6 hundredths as our solution. Look at another problem, 1 5/10 divided by 5. What might be easier for some people is to think of 1 5/10 as 15/10 divided by 5. And when we think about it that way, what we can do is we know 15 divided by 5 is 3, and we just bring down the tenths, so we have 3/10. If the decomposing that we talked about in previous lessons is easy for you and you remember that, it might help you working through problems like this. Again, you can use the dot chart or you can use the standard algorithm. When we solve using the standard algorithm, we see that 5 goes into 1 whole 0 times. However, 5 does go into 15/10 3 times with no remainder. So we once again have 3/10 as our solution. Try 1 500ths divided by 5 on your own, and it might help you to think of it as 105 hundredths divided by 5. Okay, when I solved this, I looked at it 2 ways. I have 105 hundredths divided by 5, which 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into 5 once, so we have 21, and that's 21 hundredths. We can also use it, go through the algorithm. 5 goes into 1 0 times. 5 goes into 10 2 times. Okay, subtract the 10, bring down the 5. 5 goes into 5 1 time, and there's no remainder. And I still have 21 hundredths here, which matches my original solution. When we solve these problems, one of the things that might help us is looking at different relationships. For example, we know that 48 divided by 6 is 8. And we can look at 4 8/10 divided by 6, which is 8 hundredths. Okay? One of the things that we notice is 48 divided by 6 has no decimal, and 4 8/10 divided by 6 has 1 decimal. Okay? So that's a relationship that we want to make sure that we're identifying and recognizing. We can also do that as we estimate our solutions as we move forward.